morning, Stitchy Renos. How is everybody? I'm so excited to be here today. It's been a while. We've been busy, of course. About a week ago, we sold our house. So that's all done. That's behind us. We are currently, however, homeless. We will be getting into our new house August 5th. So right now, where am I? We're actually on a little vacation in Wisconsin Dells. And I decided to just kind of bring my stash and my haul and a few of my things with me and film a video because I knew I wouldn't get a chance to at home, and I've been missing you guys. So I brought my stuff along, and I was hoping I would get the chance to do this, and so here we are. So August 5th is when we get into our new place. So I'm looking forward to making that our own. And right now everything is cool. It feels good to have that checked off the list, the whole home thing. I forgot how much work moving was. I mean, it's a lot of work. So glad to have it behind us. So I'm gonna start right off with my whips, and I have definitely been doing my part to support the economy during COVID, let me tell you, especially the cross stitch shops and the quilt shops of the world. Holy cow. I've been spending like a drunken sailor. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I don't know. Who knows why. It's good. It's all good. It's not stuff that's going to go to waste, that's for sure. So, but I have a box of stuff sitting next to me. A box of goodness and goodies. So I'm going to start off with my whips, and then we're pretty much going to delve into haul, and I'm going to talk about a few other things as well. So let's start off with my whips here. So this one, if you remember, this is one that I am doing with Kathleen Salick of Kathleen's Trodden Trail. And Kathleen and I, this is a friendship sampler. So you each stitch a half with your name on it, and then you cut it in half, and then you send off the top half and you swap with the person you're stitching it with. And then you stitch them together. In fact, I can show you on the chart here. You can kind of see that little row of X's there. So Kathleen and I got this idea. We saw this pattern. We thought it was very, very cute. I still have some ABCs to do up here. And also I'm going to change this wing. I might take it off altogether because I kind of like the way the bird just looks standing there. I don't know, the wing looks like an afterthought to me, but either way, I'm either going to change it to this lighter brown color because I don't like the blue, or I'm just going to eliminate it altogether and maybe put some other motif over here. But anyway, this is my progress on this. Funnily, is that a word? Funnily? How about oddly? Let's say oddly. Funnily, I don't know if that makes any sense. But a funny coincidence is that Kathleen, at the spur of the moment, also decided to sell her house and is in the process of moving as well. So we were going to exchange this on July 30th, which is National, what is it? Is it Friendship Day? I think it's National Friendship Day. And we thought that would be an appropriate time to exchange this. But now we're switching it to September 5th, which is National Be Late for Something Day. So we felt that was appropriate. So September 5th is our new exchange date for this, our new deadline. So that's that one. By the way, this pattern is from Barbaral, and it's called Sisters. So it's a fun little pattern. I know a lot of shops carry her patterns. You can also get her stuff as a downloadable on, well, I think lots of places, but the main one is Creative Poppy. and that's a downloadable, you can get it in a downloadable form. So that is the status on Sisters from Barbaral. My next one is the one that I've been working on mainly, the one that I've been trying very hard to keep up on. And that is my 1896 Alpha Block, because this one is a stitch along, and I have a quota that I have to do every month. I did a photocopy of the cover, and you can see my funky lines here. I just divided it up into 12 sections. So this is the section I'm in right now. I've just gotten a start on the grass of this little church here. And then I'll have to do the birds and these 3 letters and that flower. But otherwise, the whole bottom is done. So let me show you how that looks. It's coming along very nicely. So here is that one. Let me see if I can get some of the wrinkles out of it here. And I changed this cat here to look like Train. Train is doing fine, by the way. He's at my mom's house, so. And he loves her screen porch. He likes to watch all the animals. There's bunnies and all kinds of things. So, and he doesn't know it yet, but, and I think I mentioned this, we're moving right next door to my mom, like the house literally right next door to my mom. So Train is looking into his own backyard, but he just doesn't know it yet because he's staying with my mom. So it's kind of funny. When we move, we just have to pick him up and carry him next door. So it's convenient. But. So here's my progress. It's so much fun to stitch. Like, every time you finish a little motif, you're just like, yay, I did something more. And if you remember, I switched around the letters. There was only one block that had 2 letters in it, so I put my initials in there. And then the letters that were in here, I think it was letter E and letter F, I've moved those around. So you can see my E is here and my F is there. But yeah, so that's a fun one. I very much enjoy working on this one. It's always fun to get out. So, and the other 2 that I worked on, I did so little I didn't even bother to bring them along and share them. So, okay, so those are my works in progress. I had no finishes. My big finish was selling the house. I did get some Stitchy kindness. I got this bag from Jenny, who is she's Calculated Stitcher on Instagram. So she's a math teacher. So she is very much fun, and I had sent her a kit that she's a fan of Teresa, Shakespeare's Peddler, and I had this kit from a retreat that I sent to her, and that I just don't use a lot of scissor fobs, and this was a retreat exclusive that had scissor fobs in it, and little pin cushions and things like that, and I just don't do a lot of that. So I'm kind of a simple stitcher, maybe. I don't know, maybe that should have been my Instagram name, Simple Stitcher. Anyway, Jenny was so kind. She made me this little bag. Right now I've got my iPad charger in there, but it's got the EKG strips on the outside. It's got stethoscopes on the inside. She made it as like a stethoscope bag, but I always keep my stethoscope at work in my locker. And I use this for other stuff. It's great for travel. Like I said, I'm already using it. I've got my iPad charger in there. So, and also, heaven help the poor guy or lady who's got this rhythm. Holy Hannah. What is this? Some of it just looks like artifact to me, but wow, if that's your rhythm, you need a pacemaker, my friend. So, look at that, wide complex, aberrant rhythm there. Anyway, yeah, get yourself to a doctor if this is what your EKG strip looks like. Okay, all that I have left to share is like haul haul. So off we go. I'm gonna get this one out of the way first. I bought some of this antique spray from Teresa from Kitten Stitcher. I haven't tried it yet. It is an aging solution for fabrics and other fibers. So I can't wait to spray it on some stuff and make it look like it's 100 years old. My husband thinks this is ridiculous, by the way. He's like, what is this for? And I said, it makes things look old. And he just looked at me like I had 3 eyes. But anyway, yeah, instant antique spray. Okay. Next thing I bought is this pattern from Luminous Fiber Arts. This is, it's a benefit pattern, I guess is what you would call it. Misty Purcell's, is it her cousin or is it her nephew? I think it's her cousin that has cancer, and he's young. He's not that old. He's a young dad and he's got young kids. And the benefits of this pattern go to benefit his cancer treatment and the family. So I think it's an adorable pattern. I absolutely love it. So sending well wishes to Misty's relative. So I wanted to support that campaign. And it's just such a cute pattern. I love the buttons that she's got on there. And who doesn't love a good monochromatic sampler? So that's a fun little small. Next, okay, I am blaming Reese in Australia, Stitching with Reese, and Brenda and Laura of Brenda and the Cereal Starter FlossTube fame. I kind of went on a GGR bender because of those two. I just wanted all the GGR. I held myself to 3, which I know you're saying, well, that's not a bender, but for me, that's a bender. This whole last few months since COVID began, I've just been on this spending spree. So, drunken sailor, people. That's all I am. A drunken sailor in this form. So, anyway, but I haven't been drinking, but I'm just rambling now. Okay, this one. Marie, I think her name is pronounced Honorat or Honore. This sampler is huge. It is giant. I just think it is amazing. The little girl who stitched this was 10 years old. 10 years old. What are our 10-year-olds doing these days? They're not doing this, I can tell you that. I'm blown away by this sampler. It's huge. And I love the little motifs. I initially thought that this was like a giant flower basket. It's really an altar. But there was something else that I wanted to share with you about this. So here, I'm going to just kind of read it. I'm going to hold this up at the same time. In the central part of her sampler, I'm going to keep going. In the central part of her sampler, Marie stitched a big altar decorated with silver and gold. The rest of the sampler is filled with lovely motifs, including a priest standing in a pulpit, which you can see right there, and an adorable donkey with toes. And he is right here. He's got little funny toes. I don't know if you can see that. She's got their little tiny straight stitches for toes. Marie used her imagination and lots of straight and buttonhole stitches to complement the cross-stitch motifs. She also attached to her sampler a few cut-out paper figures, which are not included in the reproduction. So this little girl, who is 10 years old, she cut out little figures that she saw on paper, and she stitched the paper to the sampler. So they've got a picture of it here. So can you see that face? That's actually a piece of paper that she cut out from some sort of book or whatever she had at the time. And she stitched that person down. I'm blown away by that. I just think, Marie, for 10 years old, you are a clever girl. She's like next level thinking with her sampler. So, and apparently there was more than one of these. So I'm amazed at that. What a clever girl. So, and this is a big sampler. It is, let me find it here. Here it is. I must be crazy. I must be drunk if I'm gonna work on this at some point in my life. 546 by 457, people. What am I thinking? But on 36 count, this is the size. It'll be about 35 inches by 30 inches on 36 count. Wow. I don't know. This will be like my, what do they call it? The piece de resistance. Yeah, this will be my legacy piece for sure. So that's Marie Honorat. It's a fun one. I don't know when I'll get it started. I'm going to need a loan for that linen piece that I'll need for that. But anyway, this one, totally Reese's fault. She showed it and I fell in love with it. It's that house. I love that house. And the red. So thanks, Reese. Actually, it would be fun. I don't know if she started hers or not, but it would be fun to do a stitch along with Reese. So she's so funny. She cracks me up. So, and I think Brenda or Laura shared this one too. Maybe Laura. So yeah, between those two, I wanted all the GGR. Oh, and this one. Okay. Sorry, I have a frog in my throat. Hang on a second. Let me have a little sip here. Today's episode brought to you by Dr. Pepper. Well, who am I kidding? It's brought to you by sugar, because sugar is delightful. Who doesn't love sugar? Brought to you by sugar. Okay, this piece. This, and by the way, GGR always shows the originals on her chart. So this piece, Bridget Power, I saw it and I thought, wow, that's really interesting. Well, I saw someone working on it on Instagram. Her name is Kate. She is from Madison, Wisconsin. She is working on this I'm going to insert a picture of hers here. I'm going to do a split screen and you can see hers. She has about this much done of it. She's got this bottom part to do. I think she's up to this. This is stunning, as you can see. She is stitching hers. I made a note. She is stitching hers on 56 count Beige Desert by Barbaral Creations. That's the word Barbara with an L at the end. So I don't know if Barbaral is a last name or what. She's out of Hungary. So I'll try to put a link down below in my notes. So she said her linen is fabulous. I've not worked with it before, but Kate says her linen is fabulous and it takes about 3 weeks to get it from Hungary. So 56 count, she's stitching this on. And that's a little nuts because this, as Laura would say, what's the over one situation with that sampler? Because Laura is not a big fan of over one. The over one situation, Laura, is not good on this sampler, but I think I have a workaround. So the over one that I can find is these little tassels that hang down here. And this part in here, these little motifs with these little, they're vines and grape leaves and clusters of grapes. This is all over one here and here. And Kate is doing it. She's doing it on 56 count, which is bananas to me. Kate, you're a saint. I don't know. But here's my bright idea. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to move this part right up here at the bottom of the altar. Maybe I'll make this white part just kind of solid. I'll carry on this. Maybe I'll go to about here with that, with regular cross stitch, and then I'm going to move that right up there. So this whole altar floor or tapestry or whatever it is, I'm just going to move it up and make it level with the bottom of this, and then I'll put the words in, and I'm going to call it a sampler at that point. But I mean, look, that basket, isn't that basket that Kate stitched? Look at how beautiful. Even if you just bought it and just did that part, it's gorgeous. It is a gorgeous sampler. So I look forward to getting started on this one. And hers, Kate, you have completely inspired me. And it was actually Kate that enabled me to buy this one when I saw her Instagram story. So she's amazing. And you can see from my picture, she is Vespae, Vespae on Instagram. So that's that GGR. So that was my GGR binge there. Oh, by the way, I wanted to give one tip. When you buy a sampler such as this that has lots and lots of pages, okay, I recommend, it's just by luck that I happen to just have the time to like look through it, and because there's lots of pages here. It's a thick pattern. So I looked through it and I was actually missing a page, and I ended up contacting the person I purchased it from, which was Stitch and Frog, and they actually they have the largest, well, they might have all of the GGR patterns. So I don't know what that sound is. Well, maybe it's just a jet. Weird. Okay, sorry about that. Stitchandfrog.com has a huge selection of GGR patterns. I mean, they might have all of them, but I was actually missing a page of this one. I was missing page 16, and page 16 was the one that was kind of the schematic that numbered all the areas that had like specialty stitches, like it would show how to stitch the donkey's toes and have more detail, things like that. So it would say, you know, section 1 is right here, and here are all the little details. That page was missing, and so I contacted Stitch and Frog right away within a day or two of my order being delivered, and within an hour she had a PDF sent to me via email. So great customer service from Stitch and Frog. Like I said, I got a response right away, and she realized that none of the patterns that with this one had page 16. So for whatever reason, that was missed. So she was glad that I brought it to her attention. But check your charts, people. You never know. If you've got a big one, make sure that you look, page 1 to 25, make sure every one of them is there. So, because later on, I wouldn't even have remembered where I bought it probably, in a year or two when I pull it out, I'd be like, where did I even get this? So check your charts, people. So, okay. This is old, I realize. Sarah's House by Blackbird. Also, I have kind of a funny confession to make. I don't know why. I love Blackbird Designs. I genuinely do. But this is like the first Blackbird book I've ever bought. Isn't that crazy? I know. It's got great, I love that one. I think that one's great. There's some great patterns in here. Look at that little pin cushion. Why is it my only Blackbird, you ask? Look at that one. Isn't that cute? I love it. Why is it my only Blackbird chart? I love Barbaral stuff. I do. But I think the popularity of them, to me, because, and maybe it's because I like Instagram, I feel like when they come out with a new book, that's all you see because they're so popular. It's like, oh, there's that one again, there's that one, and there's that. And to me, it almost feels like I've already stitched it when you see it so often. Sometimes those popular stitch-alongs can do that to me. Like, I'll really like it, but then once I start seeing everybody working on it in my feed, I don't know, it's just not as exciting anymore. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but I love Barb and Alma. I'll probably be buying all of the Barb and Alma Blackbird books at highly elevated prices someday. Who knows? Because I'll see them and be like, oh, I need to stitch that. And then, of course, it'll be out of print and I'll be out of luck. But anyway, so that was my first Blackbird book purchase. The only other one I have is I have their mini one called Deck the Halls, which is all of the strawberries. So I have that one too. So that technically is my first Blackbird book. But anyway, I know. I'm a strange one. I know. So this one is in keeping with all of my desire to stitch or have a wall of Susan samplers someday. This one's actually a Susanna, but I might just make it Susan. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Susan, Susanna. Maybe I'm loosening my rules a bit. So, but it was just so pretty from Lila's Studio, the Susanna Lynch sampler. So I thought it was so pretty. Very pretty colors. Look at that original down there. Aren't those fun, those colors? Oh, they're so pretty. I like it on that darker linen. It almost looks like if I stitched it on like a Picture This plus Velt, I might get that feel of it. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, what else have I got in here? This is just like a box of goodies. Oh, these. That's right, I forgot about these. So this is something fun. Teresa and I, when we would go, just for the heck of it. So like one time, for example, we both had to travel to St. Charles, Missouri, and she drove up from Mississippi and I drove down from Minnesota, and we made, we exchanged CDs. Like I sent her one and she sent me one. This was 2008. Isn't that funny? Sue for St. Charles, 2008. So, and then this one, I forgot what we did this one for, just for fun. She sent me a whole playlist. So I ran across those during the move and I just had to share them. And yeah, I think it's kind of a fun thing. People, remember when you used to make mixtapes for your friend or your boyfriend or something like that? It was just kind of a fun thing. So we made mixed CDs for one another, and I just thought that was a fun memory, so I had to share that. All right, this I found on eBay. These came out a long, long time ago. This is the Milk Paint sampler. The pattern is from Mary Gary's Sewing Cabin, and it is, you get to try these Kreinik Silk Moris. It's the milk paint colors, and they're real muted silks. And the actual one didn't come with the linen. It just came with the fibers, so you could give them a try. And I always loved this one. I saw it at my L&S all those years ago, and I looked at it every time I went in the store. But at the time, these were, I forget what they were, maybe $20 or something like that. And for me at that time in the 90s, it was like, wow, $20, that's a lot to spend. But I wasn't thinking, they're silks. To me, it's just, at that time, it was just, that's floss. That's expensive floss to me. It didn't even come with the linen. It was just the floss and the pattern. And even though I always liked the pattern, I just never spent the money on it. Well, fast forward to COVID 2020, and I was on eBay and this came up as a suggestion and I was like, oh, how fun. And the seller actually had a piece of linen ready to go for it and was downsizing her stash and just sold it like this. So I bought this finally, everybody. Got it in my stash. Even the first time I saw it was in the 1990s. So this was a club kit from Teresa. Now, when I say club, it's not a club in the traditional sense. This is called the I Don't Want to Be in Another Club. So it's something where you've probably heard her talk about it on her site. This one was a drum from La Di Da, and I think that the sentiment of it is so cute. Kindred spirits of the thread, peace and love we hope to spread. That's what it says on the little drum. I just think it's adorable. So very fun little kit and very, very sweet. I love it. I finished kitting up this, which is the Gathering the Green sampler from Stacy Nash Primitives. These are the colors for that one. There's actually one more color I'm waiting for. It's called Oscar. And Welcome Stitchery is supposed to send me that one. That one in a pattern that they were back ordered on. So that's that one. That's a fun one. I love that color of the house. It's fun. What else? Oh, I just finished kitting this one up. This, Teresa's Ragamuffin sampler. My all-time favorite reproduction that Teresa has ever done. I love this one. This one is so pretty. So pretty. And in person, it's just even more gorgeous. So I've got all of my colors. I've got my fabric. It's showing up kind of pink looking on this, and I assure you it's not pink. This is aged paper from Color and Cotton. I've got 36 count. So yeah, it's not as pink as it's showing up on the video here. I don't know why it's showing up so pink. But I have all of the threads now. And this might be my 2021 start. I might do a similar thing with this that I did on the Needlework Press 1896 Alpha Block sampler, where I divided up into 12 parts, and then I know I'll have it stitched within a year. So I just love this one. My favorite. One of my favorites of all time. All right. What else am I there? Oh, I have a bobber. No idea how a bobber got in my box of stash. No words. No idea. Okay, now we're starting to get into fabric. This is fabric that I got from Teresa, her website, kittenstitcher.com. It's just some Moda fabric. It is from Zen Chic. Of course it's from Zen Chic. I love Zen Chic. So it just looks like newspaper. Very fun fabric. Nice, low volume, fun piece of fabric for finishing. You can see it's from Zen Chic for Moda. All right. Most of the rest of this is just linen. All right. I took a trip to Stitchville, USA. I found this piece of stone gray fabric. This is a 40 count stone gray. And it is from, I don't know, it doesn't say. It says Weigart base, but I don't know who dyes it, but stone gray. This is Weeks Dye Works Confederate Gray, 36 count. I got a nice piece of this one. So that's nice. And maybe instead of unfolding these, I'll just hold them up, because some of these, there's one that warrants holding up because it's so varied. But rather than sitting here and having you watch me fold fabrics like an idiot here. All right, hang on. Hold the phone. Okay. All right. That was also from Stitchville. And then I got a piece of Legacy Linen Oaten Scone, and it's a 34 count. Kind of a nice light color. Very nice. It kind of reminds me of like a Weeks Dye Works parchment color. It's very similar to that. Okay, so that was my Stitchville haul. Next one is 36 count Stars Hollow Blend. I got this from Teresa, Kitten Stitcher. This is Weigert base. Stars Hollow Blend. It's actually twice this size. It's twice as big as this. So that's beautiful. This one is also from Teresa. Oh, this is the one I wanted to hold up. This is 36 count Grandma's Slip. So I don't know if you can see, there's kind of some discolored areas there. If I hold it that way, you can kind of see it. Yeah, so that one's a fun one. That's from XU Designs, I believe. Or is it a Grandma's Slip? I'm pretty sure that's XU Designs. All right, hang on here. I'm pretty sure. She doesn't say it on here. It just says Grandma's Slip, but I think that's XU Designs. Forgive me if it's not. I'm sorry if I'm giving you the wrong idea. And this is just, I bought a whole yard of linen, you guys. A yard of linen. Platinum. 36 count platinum. Yeah. I'm all set. I could probably use this for my Marie Honorat. That'd be big enough. A yard? Yeah, I'd be all set for that. That's the end of my haul box, except for my bobber. Don't know what that was doing in there. Bobber. Okay. I have one more little segment. I'm going to start a new segment. This is called Instagram Grand Slam. So I am going to feature, every month I'm blown away or amazed by some of the things that I see on Instagram. One of the things that I saw this month is by a very sweet young mom. Her name is RachelSamek. Rachel is, first of all, she's amazing because she's the mother of triplet boys. Triplet boys. Can you imagine? Just like, she's a new mom. I think her kiddos are a little more than a year now, I think. They're as cute as can be. And she's just amazing for that reason. By the way, Rachel, if you're watching this, little known fact, and this is for anyone out there who has 3 or more boys, but especially if you have triplet boys, the word on the street is that if you have 3 or more boys, that when you die, you go straight to heaven. Like, you get to the pearly gates and St. Peter sees you and says, oh, three or more boys. And he just steps out of the way and he goes, you can go right through. He just opens the gate and you just waltz right in. You don't have to answer for anything in your life. So those of you who have raised 3+ boys, you're in. Awesome. But anyway, getting back to Rachel, she has a blog and she is working on a design that she calls her tapestry. And tapestry is the end part is spelled Tree. And you can see I'm I've got a picture of it here. And I think this is such a clever idea. So she, in the little octagons, she's got little tiny, it's a work in progress, and she's been working on this for 7 years, and every time something exciting happens, where maybe she takes a vacation, or maybe there's any kind of significant life event, she will kind of add it to her sampler. And so you can see she's got the names of her 3 boys in there. And I think that is such a clever idea. And I've always wanted to do my own sampler, because really these young girls that made these samplers, I think a lot of times we get fixated on having to do it exactly the way they did it, where really, if you think about when they were stitching, these young girls who made samplers years ago, a lot of times they were just using other samplers kind of as a model. They weren't copying them exactly the same. They were just using them as kind of a guide, and they were taking bits and pieces of each sampler that they liked and adding them to their own sampler. So I think that this is such a clever idea that Rachel has, that she came up with, and I love it. I can't wait to see where it goes. So I'll put a link to Rachel's blog below on Instagram, and also I'll put her Instagram name, which I think is just RachelSamek. And you can see she posts pictures of her sweet boys. They are just so cute. I just think what an exciting life she has. So, and the fact that she's still finding time to stitch and add things to her tapestry and so on. So that's my Instagram grand slam for this episode. So I hope you all enjoy that. I do have one more bit of haul that I just have to grab here. It's right here. I moved it over and then I forgot to put it back. I stopped on the way down to Wisconsin Dells at Stitch Supply Company, which is a quilt shop that I have always wanted to go to. And I don't know if any of you remember last Christmas I had that advent calendar from Stitch Supply Company. Those are available now on their website. It's a quilt shop in Altoona, Wisconsin, and they were the ones that did the sewing. It was lots of sewing notions and very, very, very fun little personalized items and things like that for the advent calendar. So those are now available. So if you are interested in getting one, you better sign up, because the cutoff date is September 1st, I believe, or whenever they sell out. So it was just a huge hit last year, and I loved mine. But I stopped at Stitch Supply Company on the way down, and I got a whole bag of goodies here. I don't know if I should, all right, I'll take it out. By the way, one of her things on her, if you spend $50, you get this little tiny small project bag. If you spend more than $100, you get the big project bag that looks just like this, but it's bigger. So I just think that's such a clever idea. And it's a sturdy, I mean, it's a nice project bag. It's very, very nice. Good, heavy, nice, sturdy bag. So I'll just go through this really quick. One of the things that she had on display there was this flower and snowball quilt top pattern. One of the things that is so cool about it is that you can see it comes with the 3 templates that you need to make this. So one day I will make one of these. It kind of reminds me of, if you ever watch Misty Purcell, Luminous Fiber Arts, which I know you do, she has it sort of reminds me of the Halo quilt that she is working on, because it's also got circles. So there's that. Then I got a couple charm packs. These two have very similar colors. I'll just kind of do like a little flip through of, here, wait, one at a time here. So you can see the fun. Isn't that one fun? Did you see that one? It kind of looks like cross stitch. I've got it in several colors. Look at this one, sort of like a log cabin quilt. Aren't they fun? There, that one. See how it looks like it's sort of cross stitched? Yeah, I love these. These are very fun. So this is Handiwork by Allison Glass, and I actually bought a fat quarter of it also in a different color. Aren't they? Isn't that fun? Yeah, I think this is a very fun fabric line. Very neat stuff in there. So I got that one. And then this is Ruby Star Society. This is speckled. All of these are just speckled fabrics. And these two coordinate very well together. And I have another one at home that's more of like crosshatch solids. But I'll do some charm-friendly quilt pattern with these someday. These are so addicting. This is, by the way, if you're not familiar with quilting, these are called charm packs, and it's a 5x5 square of fabrics, of every fabric in that fabric line. Usually they come out with several different variations of the various prints in a particular fabric line. So you could see, you know, some of them were repeated, some of them there's more than one of them in there, but sometimes they're different colorways. They're very, very fun, and it's a way to get you get a cohesive group that you know is all going to go together. So if you're not good at picking fabrics, to pick a charm pack or a layer cake or a jelly roll, those are all different types of cuts of fabric. So but these two go well together. Their colors coordinate well, as you can see. So I'll probably mix those up and make some sort of cool quilt out of that. Here are, oh, I found this ribbon. Don't know if you can see it or not, but it is, they're little tuxedo cats. Aren't they cute? It's a little, so I bought a half yard of that ribbon because it kind of reminded me of my cat Train. And then I got, you also get a sticker with your purchase. So I'll just put that on my water bottle. I bought this pattern called Easy Does It. I don't want to show too much because it's just a sheet. But this pattern was $1. And it's from By Annie. So, and it's called the Easy Does It bag. So, yeah. Store and carry all your essentials in this handy zippered bag with attached handles. So, yeah, I thought that was really cute. It kind of looks very Vera Bradley like. So that was $1. That was pretty cheap. This is what's the name? Goodness gracious. Do I have it on here? It is a Ruby Star Society. Okay. I thought it might have been from when they had from when they were affiliated with Cotton and Steel, but this is little Christmas record albums. Look at that one broke. It's just a cute little fabric. This is fun. It's a wonky gingham. See how it's not exact? I like that. It's very whimsical. So that one's very fun. Lay it out flat here. This I loved. This, little fireflies and lanterns and just stuff hanging in a little ball jar there. Sunspots, little red and blue, might be cute to finish an Americana small with. This is just a nice low volume white. And another fun little low volume pattern. This I think is a Heather Ross fabric, little paints on it. And this one was really fun. This one's called Colors in Parchment. So this is a fat quarter, but it's kind of like a fun little panel. Isn't that interesting? It's just a neat little, yeah, I don't know. I thought that was kind of fun. So there's that one. And then that's about it. And then of course the bag. The bag comes with it. Package your purchase right up in it. So that was my trip to Stitch Supply. That's about it for my video. I thank you all for watching. I probably won't film another one until after we are in our house, and maybe I can do a little, we'll see how much I have decorated at that point, but you'll get a better idea. Maybe I'll do it out in the garden, because the garden is landscaped beautifully. So I hope I'm able to keep it up. That's my biggest worry with this new house, is that it's got a pretty extensive flower garden, and they're all perennials, but and there's also like a water feature to maintain. There's a little creek in the backyard, so I'll maybe film my next floss tube out in my new backyard. So that's about it. I hope everybody's having a great summer. I hope you're all staying healthy and hanging in there. So take care, everybody. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.